reward, we'll say, right? Where the rest of these rosters have just had relaxation time, preparation time. And if you're looking at VERTEX, you're probably the favorite to make it through this tournament. I think that puts a little bit more pressure on them to make sure that their preparation that they've done leading up to this is going to merit them success. So far, so good in that map.
Absolutely, but without further ado, we will be diving into that server now as well for Vertigo. So again, a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining, it was the 16... was it 16-8 or 16-9? Irrespective.
16-9.
VERTEX started off real strong, real hot into that opening map, and LFO, yeah, just couldn't quite get a wriggle on. So as they move on to the start on the CT side, have they got what it takes to start off strong?
Yeah, well, the dualies are going to be out for LFO. Let's see what Hats and Savage are going to be able to do. Of course, it's ADDICT, the one to lurk around a little bit through mid. VERTEX on this T side to start us off. It was VERTEX's map pick of choice. So LFO in that picking CT. Bit of silence for everyone early on. Almost reminiscent of Inferno as well, isn't it? No one wanted to die first. Nice and slow to start off. And there's the info. This is the time for Haas to peek up, see what he can find.
Absolutely. He's hearing footsteps every single which way, but how long does he want to wait? Does he go for that opening shot? He does, and he gives away his position. Can he hold on for longer? No. Hazard gets the trade. Sterling, great opener. He's still kicking for now, but his teammates have all fallen apart. So here, it's going to be all onto the timing, but Brace will get that defense. And now, unfortunately for Licky, it's all onto him, and he is just chilling back towards the Tetris. And yeah, it's going to be a tough round to overwhelm here in a 4v1.
Yeah, no kit, no util either. Just needs to get these headshots coming on through. Flash on up. A bit of a team blind, actually. But at the end of the day, I don't think it matters too much, as PZ will put Licky down at the end. Pistol round secured for VERTEX.
It looks like Rooster actually did take that map as well. It was not quite showing. 16-14 on Mirage, the opener. So good stuff there from Rooster, as they get the bit of a wriggle on early on as well. So the two teams that you'd put as the favorites are currently sitting on top.
Yep. There's a lot of people that would have expected, so nice to see. What's nice to see, I guess, if you're an LFO fan, is they've got some weaponry to play with in this one. Same as Inferno, they lost the pistol on their CT side. They have elected to force on up. I think you've got a little bit more breathing room when it's in the beginning of the map, as opposed towards the tail end of a map, though, Mitch. We'll see what sort of utility VERTEX want to throw on out as well. Still a little bit spread throughout the map. An exploration over at the B stairs. Savage is actually playing on the back of the site with Licky over at Plat. Can throw a flash for him. They can double up on HE grenades. There's a lot of options for them to whether they want to contest this B site affair. So far, though, for VERTEX, not electing to go completely into the site quickly. Although that's some ill timing for Licky.
Great shot in the end from Savage. Does narrowly miss the head of Hazard. But ADDICT does get a response as well. So it's back to this 3-on-3. Bomb will be planted by PZ. Now Sterling looking to get his way over towards the hump, but I do like the positioning of Brace. He should be able to get his way in towards the spot of mid now. But look at his timing. It is so slow. They're just trying to set that focus, trying to shift the time. Because Sterling does find one. Oh, Brace, a little nasty, but now they have that linchpin information, right? They know the position. They are going to be able to flash up for PZ as well. Now looking to get that cross. They are moving. ADDICT does find Brace, but I don't think they're going to have the time. They are getting moving into it, but PZ should win this round straight away. Yep, that's it. Round's done.
Oh, they didn't drop the smoke on it if they wanted to go for it either. They had a smoke on LFO. Dropped that on the bomb. Potentially could have obscured a bit of the vision to get it. But at the end of the day, you're looking at that 2 versus 2 situation. And I'm wondering if PZ is left on the side himself and the other player in mid can't help him, right? Or if PZ dies and there's 2 players on the side, it's not really planted for Plateau. There's a potential world in which LFO get the defuse, but unfortunately for them, no kit. The smoke not dropped on down, and PZ just in a nice spot, able to shut it down at the end. And that was the force up for LFO as well, right? So a similar situation to Inferno, where things don't go their way on the pistol, on the force up second rounds, and you're looking at a potential 3-0 lead. You lose your first gun round, it's 4-0, but that's where we see an eco round V1. Mitch, maybe we get it earlier here, though, with ADDICT already finding Brace.
Spots out as well. A little bit of a love tap onto Sterling. So still not all causes lost yet. Plenty of time, though, for Vertex to work with. Zapokdad will be felled, so should be easy sort of clean up from here now. Vertex just need to stick together and make sure that no further mistakes are made.
Yeah, Malta with that Mac 10 down to half HP as well. Want to see him just maximize the utility. Maybe not to be the instigator for any of these duels, or if he is, to get traded on out, because that's where these pistols can certainly find some damage as the rotations do come for LFO to the Alpha site. There is enough time to still play with if it is a scrappy take from Vertex.
Trying to take that control. PZ will find it. So it should just be a last little frag. Good dink in the end, but 4 alive for Vertex is a very, very happy position. Money's good. Everything is in order. And now LFO, again, we really just sort of need them find that momentum behind them. You know, if it starts to slip out of their grasp, allowing Vertex to sort of run around on that T side again, it will start to, you know, make some call for concern. But again, you know, Vertex definitely marked as the favorite, definitely a solid team with, you know, their sights set on only victory in this qualifier. Anything else would be unacceptable.
Absolutely. This time, though, a bit of a stampede up towards the B site. Early utility is going to send Savage packing. But he's not going to be able to really return with too much for himself either, is he? A little bit of a late grenade. Answered in return. It's going to miss its mark too. So, early exchange, not really meriting too much for either side. More so positioning for Vertex as they're able to get up to those B stairs. But apart from that, there's not really too much to write home about.
No. Stock standard. A little bit of a look towards B. But right now, it's just that big stability here. Sterling does get the collateral.
Oh, that's dirty.
And I'm screaming, oh yeah. Nice and clean.
Silent AWP, not yet seen. Finding a collat is certainly a way to start off Vertigo on the CT side if you hadn't gotten around just yet. But you really want to see it converted from here, don't you? We know that Vertex were very capable of winning from deficit positions over on Inferno. That 2 versus 5 is going to live rent-free for a while.
Good response from Malta, at the very least. Does actually choose to pull out the Deagle instead. Now some utility over. It's going to have to be Hazard to do a lot of the heavy lifting here. Apokdad, great positioning, and he just walks straight into it there. Great lock off from Apokdad. Huge B-side hold, and a nice position to find themselves in. You know, 4 alive is certainly a happy medium there in that kind of round.
Yeah, it'll balance the checkbook, of course, coming into this next one, but you still want to make sure that you are carrying over all your weaponry for LFO in a round such as this, because with that round, Vertex aren't going to be able to get a good purchase for themselves. Maybe they go with haste in towards one of these sites. The Deagles are here, bit of that extra utility as well. So we will see what they want to do as they do start to find position over at this A site. Be quick. Sterling, want to make sure that he's just not locked down. He's got his teammates to bail him out. He gets a little bit hot under the collar. Okay. Through the
tap
smoke.
up.
Yeah, not bad.
So they've done well to at least sort of establish this additional control, force them back off the ramp, and not looking to overdo it either. You know, Hats is sort of there, still peeking around. Does overstep his welcome just a little bit, but not in a position where it's going to be a rifle recovered, as Apokdad is there to try and stem the bleeding.
Oh, that looks a little bit scrappy, Mitch. It's a 3 versus 3.
There?
Addict has taken a weapon. So has Malta. They don't have Kevlar or Helm behind them, but, I mean, there's a world in which they can find some quick headshots if LFO aren't reacting quick enough.
Yeah, you can't give Vertex these picks, can you?
No.
You know, weapons and control. Oh, Licky, narrow shot of the miss as well. Addict.
Yeah, that'll finish it.
Good thing Malta is very, very low. No Kevlar there, so it should be A-OK. Hazard actually should be able to find a bomb plant. The Molotov will keep them at bay for a little while, but does get the fake out. Trying to just pull any sort of level of focus here away. You know, Hazard very sharp with a Deagle here, so he will now get that bomb planted. Addict, though, taking point on the line. And he does gather some information. Sterling looking forward. Great flash. And one. Can he get some more here? Has to hit the shots. Has to connect. But Sterling will walk in. Very nicely done. Good control together as a team. I definitely think, you know, LFO lost a little bit too much there, but at least they walk away with the round. 2 alive, some utility, and the AWP.
Yeah, I mean, there's two sides to a story, right? For LFO, you've gotten the win, but for Vertex, you've done a bit of damage where they're quite resettable if you're able to start to chip away at the money. So, not bad. You got a purchase to come into round number 6. All of your utility PZ's got the ARWPR to go toe-to-toe against Sterling. And this is the time in the map where I want to see, you know, new things come through from LFO, because they've rotated Sterling's position twice now with that AWP, the early challenge in mid, and then the position over towards A. But this time, they change it up. They go B, and it's shut down almost immediately. And reinvestment, Mitch from Licky, is a little bit too ambitious as he's taken down. And this round is looking pretty worse for wear for LFO.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, Savage was actually still trying to fight the good fight there. I wasn't sure if Vertex were going to be ready for it, but it doesn't really sort of matter in that position. You know, Savage, even if he got traded, it's just such a good start. So at least Sterling can find one. There's been some good chip damage from that utility from Savage. Now he just has to drop the smoke and wait for greener pastures. Sterling choosing to walk over towards the site, but the very least, you know, LFO's individuals have started to step up a little bit more in this map. Licky's still having a quiet one so far, but just needs to shed the cobwebs a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Bit of dusting. Hopefully you're wearing your protection as well, not be coughing a storm. Never want that to happen. But a player in advantage for Vertex. And there is only Savage. He started at this B site. He's still here to try and bunker down. But no one is really wanting to reveal themselves with any sort of utility. Vertex start to throw that out, but is this all a ruse, or are they going to actually go with the util into this B site? They do have a couple of flashes to throw in as well. This layering of utility is going to permit them to space in towards the site, but now Savage gets one. Is he done?
Still holding true. A lot of pressure on this young fella's shoulders right now as he does wait. Tries to be patient, but he gets another, and that's good damage on the PZ as well. Makes this so winnable. Hats, that should be an absolute dunk. A chess mark, in fact. And now Malta, 1 versus 2 clutch here from the line. Good damage onto Sterling, but Hats will walk in. That is a test of true endeavor there for Savage. Fantastic stuff. What a hold. 3-3 now here in map number 2.
Got to remember that was a 3 versus 5 deficit as well for LFO that they've been able to crawl back in towards on the back of Savage. Shooting up, making sure that he's getting those kills where required. A little bit ambitious for him, but he found all the damage. A nice HE grenade thrown in there as well. As you say, that's going to be welcomed with open arms. Good chest mark, I think, used as... I'm not a footy player myself, but I'll let it pass. A timeout for Vertex.
You're built like a footy player, dude. Come on.
Nah. 3-3 timeout
Just
used for Vertex.
I was going to say, just like I'm built like a diver or something, right? Absolutely not.
Rock climber.
No. Food enjoyer. That's one for both of us.
Yeah, true. Tied scoreline early on. Yeah, definitely the time for LFO to try and take the lead and establish a good lead, in fact, on this CT side, because it is this eco for Vertex. See what the Tech 9s are going to be able to do.
They've done good things on Inferno. A couple of rounds.
Yeah.
Actually had some success netted. That's a good start here from Savage. He's found a great couple of openers here these last few rounds. Straight down the B ramp and back out on towards the site again.
Ooh, there might be a bit of timing here for Vertex to just sneak into the site, take out Savage. Wasn't expecting them to be that quick on in, and Brace is just holding W. This is some quick gaming to come through from him, but the bomb is a little ways behind. That's going to permit some rotations for LFO. Still, bit of a fun round for Vertex to contend with here now that that plant does go down.
It was Brace last time that did it from memory as well, you know, ripping in towards that Inferno B site. So they are playing a little bit close up and personal near the generators here. So are they going to be ready for it as the peak comes around? Brace does get burnt down. The generators do get spotted. They wait Puckdad looking to push forward, but it's Hazard with the mark. Hazard pushing in. Sterling gets a response. Get Hazard on. No. Oh my God. A round of chaos, carnage, everything all falling apart. The dummy has been thrown out the cot in this round. But in the end, it is Sterling to hold true. He has had a much better map so far here on Vertigo.
Absolutely.
And that is LFO taking the lead, Komodo.
Yeah, scrappy round from both teams there. Brace trying to do his due diligence to just drag Vertex through in that round. He started off well with those kills, didn't he? But at the end of the day, plant down 2-2, doesn't go their way. And LFO will peel ahead just in front. Though, that said, their money is not built up whatsoever, so they are quite resettable if Vertex is able to secure this round. And maybe the next one, if there's some sort of force or half buy that LFO want to throw into the mix. Slow and steady, though. Up through towards T ramp. Brace will take some damage. It'll send him packing for the time being. Vertex having some success to get into this B site time and time again, Mitch, but they haven't really been able to close it down just yet. Is this the time for change? Or do they want to contend with the A site? Flashes in. Savage dodges. But now he's down. Oh, and Malta's taken out
flashes
Hazard.
are good, but Malta, not really happy with that for Hazard. So it does go back to this 4-on-4, but PC the wallbang closes it out. Licky really, really struggling to sort of get started in this series so far.
Where that's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually going to deny him from peeking.
Brace. Yeah, exactly right.
Over
So the
the
advantage
ledge.
has come back very, very quickly here.
Be very interesting if that was an intended smoke to stop him from peeking over the ledge, or if that was missed meant to go at the entry, because it's actually worked out regardless. You will take that. This will turn into a 4 versus 4 situation, keeping it even Stevens, APOC, Dud, and Sterling to take the weaponry to the next round. I mean, Sterling can drop over a weapon. Hats can probably fend for himself. It's not going to look too bad of a buy for LFO.
Yeah.
And
Just time. Yeah, hit me.
The only casualty was Hazard to his teammate.
That's right.
So, I mean, LFO didn't actually get a kill this round. When you think about it.
Very good response. We haven't really seen, a heat over towards that A site yet from Vertex. The prod has very much been around B, and it's having mixed success.
Yeah, we'll see what the money situation for LFO does look like. So they jumble them all up. Hats is fending for himself with the UMP. Weapon dropped over. Licky down to the Deagles. So bit of a party mix with everyone getting a different weapon except for Savage and APOC Dud with the A1Ss. I don't know if Malta heard the drop there, actually. APOC Dud's getting flushed out by a molly. He's actually pushed through it. He might be able to steal away with 1 kill here. Oh.
Just makes it around.
He's been heard.
Into the Molotov as well. Hot under the collar.
How's he done that one? Bit of a Houdini effect.
Just makes it out. Exactly. Snap of the fingers and he's out of there. Good nade even to send him packing.
Licky having a bit of a peek on down the B stairs. Sees that no one's home. So the idea for LFO is that Vertex are still looking to engage them at this A site. Chipping away at the damage with those HE grenades, making sure that this UMP and more importantly that Deagle can potentially do something. Though not at the right site at the moment for Licky. Savage with him over at the B side. They're going to prod. They're going to push. This can be a good timing on a flank for LFO.
They've heard that damage on the Hazard, I'm sure, as well. But look at them just parking it, pumping the brakes, Vertex. They've still got 40 seconds to work with, so not looking to sort of overstep by any means.
Yeah, this
Still
is
just such a standstill.
This is a problem, though, because now with the other phone members all getting towards this side, it's just going to be an absolute clown fiesta here.
Yeah, and that's Licky, the one that was obviously, the sort of
Deagle.
last man to come around for a bit, but they have to go A here. They cannot rotate out at this point, 20 seconds. And it's actually Hats up on top of the site to get one. He does good damage on the PZ as well. Sterling with a great shot, but he has to be head on a swivel, and he gets the move. But it's not quite the groove as Malta is in a position where he can pull away. No, never mind. There's a flank coming in. I was going to say, Savage knocks him on the back of the head. Doesn't want the AWP either. APOC Dud's got one. And that'll be happy days. LFO taking the lead back here, Komodo's. Quite quick of a response out of them as well.
A little bit too passive from Vertex. Not proactive enough with their utility to peek into the site. They didn't quite get the numbers. They left themselves open to that double flank as well because they actually didn't have anyone looking behind them. Very focused on trying to get into the site and not thinking about what sort of contingency that LFO had, but more importantly, themselves either. Another purchase round, though, for both sides. A little bit lackluster on the utility, however. But you'll take an opener. Braces dispatched of Hats. Left with 6 Harry Potters before Sterling slings a spell his way and takes him out.
Once again, a little bit of a slowdown of the pace. Bar Hazard making his way. Actually gets the positional advantage as well, dropping down Savage. So the advantage goes back the way of VERTEX, albeit Hazard still relatively low. So now Sterling on a bit of an island here, just creeping back towards that side of A.
Yeah, this is the time that I don't mind VERTEX taking a little bit of silence, setting themselves up for a nice execute. You've got 4 smokes, a flash, and a molly. You can definitely clear a lot of angles towards this B site, but they're going to look to go for the little bit of prod effect. See if they can peek over with the one-way. I don't want to see Licky peek up. I don't want to see ADDICT overstep either, because they can use this element of surprise to try and take out Hazard. He's got 10 points of HP, remember.
Licky, he's just been absolutely patient here.
Oh!
But Malta can smell him out. Perfectly picked, perfectly approached. And now poor Sterling all on his lonesome. That is an angle that you have to clear, ladies and gentlemen, and Malta does it to a T.
Yep.
So unfortunately for Sterling, it's just a extra long 40 seconds.
Saves him.
He has to go walkabout.
Save simulator. Saw that a little bit on Inferno. Presenting it here on Vertigo. Tied up though, Mitch. 5 apiece. Yet again, the first half being very, very close, like Inferno again, that we can just draw conclusions from. But it was that second half that VERTEX did just take it a step better, didn't they? What have we got over on the side of LFO? This AWP is probably going to be the only thing that LFO have to work with come round number 11 here. No cash to splash for the rest of the team. Timeouts to have a discussion if they want to force up pistols or maybe even a UMP again behind it, but probably just think it's going to be an eco. See if Sterling can get something with the AWP. You can steal a rifle off of a VERTEX member. More often than not, though, VERTEX have been grouping up together, right? So if you've got that idea from LFO, it's not going to steer into rather trying to just get a pick and get out. Because all of VERTEX are together, you got to run that risk of an immediate trade.
Such an interesting game so far, Komodo. Just constant standstills. The game of push and pull that we're experiencing. You know, we did see some movement from VERTEX early, but LFO responded. Now it's very much been that back and forth. Are LFO going to be able to do it with this quasi-buy? It might be the first opportunity for VERTEX to kind of get moving.
Yeah, LFO going in for the force, so they did decide what they want to try and do. Play a little bit spread, a bit of a flash in. Savage was flashed by Licky, so quite unfortunate. So there's an idea for VERTEX that there's at least 2 more members here for LFO by the utility counts that have come on out, and this is just where you can tamper them down. Oh, Licky, no! He hasn't even been CSGO'd there. He didn't even throw the smoke.
Almost trolling at this point, the poor guy. He's just not being able to quite do it. The team flash, the lack of smoke on the molly, just really hasn't had a chance to activate yet, which does take me by surprise, given that Licky, you know, I've seen him go absolutely monstrous in a number of series that had on the line.
Oh,
gets one.
okay.
That's actually a really good result. Might stop him for long enough because now Sterling trying to rotate into position. Can he get the line quickly? Never mind.
Yeah.
Brace ready. And Licky, unfortunately, is not.
Didn't expect him to already be on that line. So quite unfortunate. You know, you just saw all the members of VERTEX playing with fire over at that B site. Not expecting Brace to already be very far forward on A. So the AWP is down. If Licky could have gotten his hands on the mitts, or if he can, it's not a bad weapon to take into the next round. You can give that back over to Sterling, where you forced in as a team. You want a hero rifle to come on through. Because I didn't catch if VERTEX just threw it away. It'd be very smart if they did. Licky will go up with the bomb here. On 20 points of HP, I believe. So he needs to be careful. There's the AWP. Alright, Brace is getting rid of it. To ADDICT. Are they going to keep it? PZ wants it. Okay.
Dunsky.
Yep. VERTEX once again take the lead. And with the force that we did see for LFO in the previous round, as I made mention to, they essentially have to eco here.
Finally an opportunity for Vertex to kind of extend their lead a little bit. We'll see a bit of a wriggle down mid. ADDICT gathering that information, but it seems like Vertex have got other focus. Taking point towards A nice and early, leaving Malta to watch the flank.
Nade stack. Nicely done. Sterling's been playing at those sandbags a little bit, so clearing out all your corners. Vertex need to make sure it's not Groundhog Day over at this A site, though. Don't waste too much time before getting on in. You don't want to be taken out by an eco round, so it's good to see that they are very rapidly into the site. It's to be a 5 versus 5 scrap heap. See what these pistols can do for LFO.
So funny. Literally just feels like a break has been placed onto these last few rounds. The pace has been slowed down heavily. LFO not looking to budge an inch as Vertex just get a completely free of charge. What will now be a 7th round. At least some damage dealt. Hazard gets a couple for his troubles. Nice to see him having a really solid run in this one. Inferno was a little out of character for him. But that'll be the full suite of damage. Sterling does drop Malta in the end, but only losing one weapon as we are so late into the half now, Komodo. No real stress, no real strain, right? You know, Vertex only one round away from winning out that half on the T side of Vertigo. Probably still considered the lesser favored side.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely another map where we can see a very close half. You know, a 9-6 like Inferno. We could even see an 8-7 here. There is another buy permitted for LFO right now, though there aren't any kits to be seen because they're putting more of an emphasis on getting out all this utility. Of course, AKs are in for Vertex, so you don't need those helmets either. Apparently, Licky doesn't need HP to play with because he's already down to 12. Which is quite unfortunate. Apart from the early utility that Vertex have thrown on out, and LFO couldn't really answer back with too much. That's all subsided. This is the time where we'll start to see Vertex actually gain control. A couple of key points on this map.
Creeping on in. Looking to take point here, LFO. It's the time to do it. Trying to get some additional control. Perhaps having a little bit of a look, getting those whereabouts. Because once again, it's only going to be Savage.
They saw him.
Back on that mark. And he's not giving up the goat just yet. But as they smoke him off, they will start to move forward. Actually cops the leg shot as well through the wall here. Does open up with one. Now he can start to bring peek around the side of the site, but he is spotted. A little bit blind, but he does get taken in the end. Licky a good response, and still now the control held by LFO.
Well, we'll see if Vertex can crawl back, though. ADDICT onto PC, leaving just ADDICT in a 1 versus 4. There's the first. Can we get any more? No. Shut down. Good rotations from LFO. Savage, I don't know how he was able to brave all that utility that was thrown at him, but he managed to find one in the flames. Another buy for Vertex. LFO trying to chase it, Mitch. Trying to find that 7th now.
Still a very, very tight game, you know, albeit it has felt, you know, like mostly Vertex has been in control. But then LFO, they do get these strings of rounds where they are looking nice and solid. Once again, another quick approach towards the A ramp. They're going very, very quickly, Vertex. They want to fight the good fight right now, Komodo, and it is going to be Hazard. Locking down onto a couple, but oh my god, ADDICT, the response. Jesus, now Sterling has to really get moving, and with the AWP, not exactly the best weapon for it. They're going to have some heavy reliance onto Savage on this rifle, because look at PZ, look at Hazard.
Yeah.
So low on HP, but Vertex, they pumped the brakes again.
Yeah, the timing as well. You know that those rotations are here, the utility that you can count. LFO, if they have HEs, as you said, PZ and Hazard, they can get taken out by it. There's a wall of smokes, you know, in a situation like this, LFO do not respect those. So with a minute to go, they just wait. The onus is on LFO to get back into this round, and they're going to do so silently together. Not so much as holding their hands immediately, but creeping on up. And a good execution from Savage.
Good response, though, from PZ. Now Sterling. Really awkward one.
This
Again,
gap.
not exactly that weapon that you kind of want. Maybe sometimes in these 1v1, 1vx situations, but ultimately you got to find that line, got to find that shot, and he knows that there is someone creeping around elsewhere. So they're actually going to start to make their way towards B, and he'll hear those footsteps. So he can get there, but he's not going to be able to stop the plan.
The problem is, as well, if you think about it, the fact that the 2 high HP members of Vertex lost their lives, these 2 remaining players for Vertex can play a little bit more passive, a little bit more sneaky. The AWP is not the weapon that Sterling wants in this current situation either, because he has to get him. The pistol, if it was pulled out, wide swings could have happened, finished off the opponents very quickly, but you know, Mitch, they don't get that info. Quite unfortunate at the end there. And it's a round over towards Vertex, meaning the last one of this half doesn't have too much money behind it for LFO.
Yeah. Certainly feels like they lost a level of opportunity there. You know, they were certainly ready for it, but once again, it's been ADDICT to really kind of take point and be Mr. Reliable. You know, it was back on that A side on Inferno. Looking good on the entry, as always, here on the T side of Vertigo. Now it's a slower approach. Looking to re-control the bottom of B ramp. Only Licky up nice and close with Savage there as well.
Slow burn on re-entry towards this B site. Utility missing its mark. LFO. Oh, that's it. Yep, ADDICT embrace. See you later.
The ADDICT effect.
Yeah, another
Knows how to
2K
rip
for
off
him.
a few heads. Yeah. Almost an impossible approach now. Trying to get back. That bomb is still obviously going towards the site of B, so it's all left onto Hats, unfortunately, here in a 1v5 with just a deagle and a spray towards him. Just sitting in that smoke, hoping, praying that something will not come his way.
You know, he's locked in my mollies.
That's it. It is brutal, it is savage, and it is indeed wrecked, as ADDICT will get a 3K, solidifying themselves. Vertex with that lead, and into Welcome back. Half number 2 here. Strong start from VERTEX, 9-6 over LFO. Only one half to net them a position into that upper bracket here. VERTEX, can LFO fight back, or will they be sent down to that lower bracket run against the loser of course, John or Rooster? I
don't want to see this one spiral away for LFO like it did over on Inferno. I want to see more substance to this map. I want to see more from LFO. I guess if we don't, it means that VERTEX are just a step ahead and better today.
So certainly looking like it at this point inside. PZ getting a real nice opener here onto Sterling. Brace will be forced away. It's going to be PZ taken down very, very quickly. Malta gets aggressive, but does get responded upon nicely. So at least the trades here are good as Savage takes point, takes control, and is going to get that bomb planted as well here. APOC Dud right into position to try and deny here, but now they've actually made their way in towards CT. So Savage is going to fall back and let APOC Dud do the hunting.
Yeah, just let him cook a little at the moment. Let it simmer. Clearing a lot of information, pushing around this scaffolding. But where do you think ADDICT and Hazard are going to come from? They don't have a kit. They do have 2 smokes, and now both T's have been seen. That is a whiff. It's on a Savage to try and deny it. They're on the defuse. There's no kit. He can try and peel them off. The pistol, the knife, it has to come out. He's missing. Please get the connection.
Savage.
There's one and a second. Take that money. Imagine if there was a kit, though.
Oh, man. Yeah, certainly an opportunity to do it. He was hesitant, but in the end, Savage gets the round done. And that's a pistol. Very, very important one secured here by LFO Komodo. 2 rounds the difference, making their way in, but VERTEX obviously going for that force back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to OCS. The scary match pause timer has arrived. Be afraid. Not a bad pistol round, though, for LFO, Mitch. Finally getting one over the line. See what they can convert in the next one, as there is a force up from VERTEX. The MP9s, the Deagles are here as well to play.
Alrighty. Not too long of a pause there. The issues have been rectified, as we've heard from the ticks in the chat just there. We do like that. We stand not a long tech pause, but yeah, overall, I think, you know, this is just a real opportunity. Like, it would be disappointing, maybe moderately expected, but disappointing to see this map not take it to the full 3, or this series rather. But then again, you know, with another series around the corner of obviously both the winners, that's going to be, you know, a potential chance at seeing who will be the actual end-term qualifier, which of course, you know, these matches are run across both today and tomorrow, similar times to have a seniorias.
Mm-hmm. Do believe that grand final is going to be a BO3 as well. No BO5 on a Wednesday.
So we've got 2 best of 3s tomorrow as well, don't we?
Yep.
The full run of it. Plenty of Counter-Strike for all of your beautiful eyes. An exciting time as we obviously start to make our way through.
Speaking of making their way through, that's what LFO are trying to do in this round, slowly but surely. As the force up is here for VERTEX. As MP9s, Deagles, see what they can do. A bit of utility as well. 50 seconds to go. Everybody going to group up for LFO. The util to be heard over at this A site. But again, you know, if you're VERTEX, where do you actually think LFO are going? You haven't sacrificed too much positioning to try and get that information. ADDICT didn't peek too far forward enough just then, but now you hear the footsteps of LFO. Now they're coming in towards A.
Absolutely marching on up here. Brace does try to take point because it's a fantastic flash to come on out. It's actually a team flash. It's easy, but he does get one in response, but then quickly traded out. Malta was still in position as well this whole time. How he is still alive, how he's able to potentially collect a weapon, but they do fall away nice and quickly. Where is APOC Dud sitting? On the middle of that site, not quite finding out exactly where he's sitting here. They do start to move forward. Malta gets the info, but 2 HP. APOC Dud does stay winning. And VERTEX will be sent down to a little bit of an eco here.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Force up into the second round, you lose it. You're probably conceding your lead when you have something of a 9-6 halftime scoreline, like we had in map number 1, like we've got here in map number 2. And I don't think every single time we've seen that force up, it hasn't gone their way. So Be unfortunate. This is the time for LFO to equalize, try and get that next round, get that first gun round of VERTEX over the line as well. Take double digits, try and take this map, put us into the third of nuke. I was hoping for more from LFO on their second half.
We are starting to see it so far. You know, they had that success, obviously, on the T side of Inferno. Maybe they'll carry that on along here. You know, it does always sort of seem that outside of Greyhound and, you know, occasionally what we see from, you know, maybe Rooster or VERTEX is that CT side is hard. T side is easy. But apparently VERTEX will find a couple of frags here on this eco round. So we won't count them out just yet. Should still be a round close. You know, I think they're probably happy to take that AK into the next round. But some good damage still secured regardless.
Yeah, we'll see if there's going to be any extra from VERTEX. They don't really have too much utility to get in with. Nor do you have Kevlar and Helm behind these guns that have been picked on up. Is Savage... Oh, sorry, is Hazard going to be just saving the AK-47 and that molly? Looks like that. And the other two are going for some exit kills. Can't quite get one just yet. See if Brace is going to be able to do anything. But it does mean that we are going to get this tied scoreline before VERTEX get that proper purchase to come into this second half. Terrorists win. Yeah, a couple of eco frags.
Well needed, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
Yep, they've taken the AK. That's happy days.
Okay, first gun round for VERTEX. AWP for PZ, rifles for the rest of them. It's definitely what you want to see. Hazard with that stolen AK as well is going to make sure there's a bit of extra money in the back pocket in case they do lose next round. They'll be able to jumble over some pistols potentially. But we know for VERTEX and VERTEX followers, this is the round that we want to be seeing them gather, and a nice starter as well. PZ can count on him for that one.
He's a fisherman on his off days. Does love to go down and get one nice and early in the morning at the crack of dawn, and that's exactly what he's done here. So a great opener from PZ. Good control position to be, not letting these last few rounds from LFO throw them off, as some further damage is also dealt on the Savage as well. So advantage quite firmly in the hands of VERTEX nice and early on. Look at this utility as well.
It's good info and good placement from VERTEX at the moment. That opening kill, that little spot from Brace on towards Savage's shoulder. Doesn't overstay his welcome either, just in case he gets taken out by another player. And the HE grenade onto APOC Dud, just dotting I's, crossing T's at the moment with this weaponry for VERTEX. And they've still got a lot of this utility that they can stall LFO out. Who themselves are not convinced where they want to take this bomb either. Two players below half HP, about 40 seconds to try and get that plant down, try and get an execute in towards one of these sites. If they drop a kill, couldn't be too far-fetched from him going for a save, to be honest.
Flashes being sent out just there, and it's going to be Hazard to at least get the opener. Good response, though, from APOC Dud. So at least they do make a bit of a mission in towards this site. Molotov should flash Addict back as well. Nice. Great utility. Really, really nicely done from LFO, but they need to find a position.
They've read it.
APOC Dud, Sterling, yeah, exactly right. They have indeed. Savage is low, but that's going to be the site taken. Malta has to go big here, Komodo, to try and deny it. It's going to be Savage again. Now PZ got the opener kill in the round. They can reposition, but he has to try split the wickets here. It's so damn awkward. And where does he choose to go here? Is this a save, or
maybe
does he just wrap it around to B main? I don't know. Regardless,
that was a well-navigated affair from LFO, wasn't it? Reading in towards where VERTEX were repositioning to. A deeper molly, a nade off the line, and then a spray through the smoke as well. That's just really conditioning VERTEX that they had to get out of the sight because of all of those flashes that were thrown in. You know, 4 versus 3, I think, at that point before LFO got in towards the site, and it was just quickly turned upside down into their favor, of which they are the first team now to find double digits.
Yeah, huge plays. This has really started to kind of turn the tides here, Komodo. You know, we're sitting here thinking, wow, yeah, quick 2-0. You know, probably another 2-0 on the other stream. Not quick by any means, but, you know, certainly something that was going to be a VERTEX win after map number 1. But, you know, LFO showing good signs. We always knew that they were a force to be reckoned with. It was just how they were sort of feeling or looking on the day.
Is today their day, though? That's the question. Because we will be, you know, technically sending some teams home today.
Yeah.
Well, a team.
Yep, that's right. this evening. Obviously, next series. We have a upper bracket and a lower bracket run per se. 1 elimination, 1 grand final qualification. One step closer to a potential chance at playing in front of the Aussie crowd at the very least, representing our region against the best teams in the world.
Oh, here we go. This execute.
Yeah, looking to make that case for it. Hazza, the AUG, looking to make it work so far. That's going to be the bomb dropped, and Hazza should actually find another here as well. But he's hot under the collar. Sterling apparently looking a little bit cute, making Hazza sweat it. And now Savage in a 1v3. Walks up close. Is he going to be able to find this connection? Up nice and high. He's going to play the timing as best as he possibly can here, Komodo. The focus is not quite set there, but they are in a position to trade.
Oh.
Got sweaty. Malta down to 11. That was certainly winnable, but PZ wasn't too far away. So VERTEX, they line it up again. 10-10 is the scoreline. And this game has been quite a close one. Another pause here for LFO.
Yeah, this one definitely feels closer like when you compare it towards Inferno, doesn't it? 10-10. These rounds are getting tighter in terms of the plays coming out. I think the rounds are getting a little bit smarter as well in this second half from both of these teams. The way that the repositioning is there from VERTEX, the way that LFO are conditioning them with this utility set as well. These executes are coming out pretty ferocious. They're just trying to get on in. That's where VERTEX have renegotiated how they want to take these retakes, how they want to stop or get some chipper damage out onto LFO before they get into the site. Starting to really see a bit of deeper knowledge in Counter-Strike at the moment when you've got teams that play against each other, when you've got players that play against each other time and time again. But with the scoreline on that previous round going over towards VERTEX, it does mean that the cash isn't flowing too good for LFO. They have to dip in towards their piggy bank savings, and they don't want to do that just yet. That hurts. But it's just an eco.
ADDICT certainly does like a good slap around, doesn't he? You know, entry even on that CT side.
Yeah, Sterling
really,
has
really solid bit of movement.
Yeah, Sterling got 1 kill on a brace. Down to 7 HP though with this only soul rifle. Gonna give that over to Hats now. Round like these, you don't want to see a big misstep from VERTEX. Give away in for LFO. That is certainly a way that that can happen.
An equalizer, though. Exactly. Look at this position, though. All around that bomb. Everyone is locked in. Now, Hats has sort of been this soul hunter sent around to try and catch the flank, try and catch the wrap. 3-point pincer. You know, APOC did obviously with nothing to work with as well. So,
yeah,
really going to be tough. Kind of just hope to send him in as bait, really, at this point. Smoke goes down from Hazza. It's going to get tight. It's going to get really, really nasty if they don't get moving quickly here, Komodo. Hats.
The cities are all locked in here as well. So, if LFO rush them, potentially, you could overwhelm them too if they're not looking at the right location. That's why they're trying to smoke them out. Position ADDICT accordingly, but it's Hazza to look where required, Mitch. 11
so
secured.
Well played.
Absolutely, but now is the time for LFO to get weapons back under their belt. Can they equalize once more?
Yeah, you've got to be happy with that, though, if you are VERTEX. You know, they played that super clean. Quite often you'll see that kind of, you know, real lockdown around the bomb and potentially can get overwhelmed. But, you know, ADDICT had the flank. They set that focus at all the extremities. They did not have their backs unwatched. That was good teamwork that ultimately does make the dream work, as we all know. Has some further aggression down towards B, and it's Hazza again to find these entries. Sure, ADDICT gets taken down, but the barrage down the ramp and the aggression from VERTEX is tempered and measured, and it gets the job done.
And the problem is as well, the spaghetti's coming out of the pockets for LFO. Their utility is all but gone. 2 smokes, HE and a molly. It doesn't bode confidence to get back into a round such as this. If you've got a flash in the mix, you can potentially isolate a nice angle with that assistance as well. But apart from that, 2 smokes to try and block out the angles that you need. It can get a little bit difficult here. They need to catch a VERTEX member with their pants down. And the opportunity to do that is looking to be in the silent variety. A creep up this A ramp. And now they've revealed themselves with all of that utility.
Great nade. Dunking onto Savage and Hats here. Sending that bomb back. Still 50 seconds left, so they can make a little bit of room here. Molotov does go a bit far, but they actually go for the boost.
Oh.
Ah, Savage tickles the forehead of
blocking each
Malta,
other.
but look at this HE damage that the Molly as well is making it so awkward, so uncomfortable. Now Malta can basically just pick up the pieces. He gets 2 and a 3rd. Malta clean up on aisle A site. 12 rounds now secured and an eco down the barrel of the LFO economy.
Yeah, that was a bit rough. As I said, you know, that little utility that LFO had to work with is not really going to give you a good establishment to get in towards the A side, especially when you got members of VERTEX there. You reveal yourselves with all your utility, rotations coming over, and you're just trying to punch through a brick wall. It doesn't work. VERTEX, an opportunity here to find round number 13 to really build up their own economy, to make sure if any rounds don't go their way, they've got a good buy behind it. Just these little pistols now. Which Hats, again, is going to be able to find himself a kill in that feed.
Just need to be cautious here, VERTEX. Not give away any of those uncontested opportunities. Any sort of trades back and forth are required. Good shot. Out of Hats. Having a little bit of a look-see here, but obviously, you know, 3 members of VERTEX sitting pretty happy in position. It's going to be one of those deagles taken down.
Yeah, 1 by 1. Try to knock him over. Licky maybe next to fall. And he will be. Just Sterling and Hazard to see if they can get any extra damage in. I'll say the Hats is trying to creep on in.
Peasy happy, waiting in a great position though. Again, you know, this is where VERTEX really kind of show off their ability in being a nice and smooth playing team. Hats has the angle, but PZ just nice and firmly on the line, locks it in well. They know exactly what they're doing here at VERTEX. They definitely feel like they've got both hands on the wheel of this map in Vertigo, and as they edge their way closer to victory, LFO, these last few rounds have looked a little bit limp compared to where they were sort of sitting at the start of this half.
Just a little bit. And it's going to take a lot for LFO to knock VERTEX off with this momentum and this money behind themselves as well. PZ, Cash for Days, and AWP in possession. We know he likes to get a little bit of aggressive to try and find these opening kills. Is he going to do so again over at the A ramp? Might not necessarily need to because of this utility that they're just keeping LFO at bay over at those B stairs. Hazza by himself at the Bravo side. A big emphasis from VERTEX over here at A. It's not actually a bad thing either, because that's where LFO are, you know, conceding control. So you're either going for retake if you are VERTEX, or you're pushing for a flank.
On that ramp position. Good nade damage onto Hats. Oh my god, pepper down really, really low. It's going to make it awkward, you know, just the level of hesitation that they're showing right now, LFO, looking a little bit lost.
Creeping up though. LFO trying to see if they can get a bit of space to try and find an opening kill. You can see that Hazard's repositioned over to that platform. He needs to plant his feet to try and stop any explosion into the B site. What a swing though from Malta. Sterling is down. And Hats was here as well. Remember just before, he's on 27 HP, so he doesn't want to take a challenge. Meanwhile, ADDICT does, and that's going to open the B site.
Straight on in. Forced away by that Molotov again will be PZ. But as we know, VERTEX have been pretty good on this re-entry. Look at Malta already firing, dropping down Hats, who was peppered down by that utility earlier on. Now Malta looking to reposition, potentially back up towards mid, down towards the ramp. They want to get moving here. There is kits in the hands of 3, but they have to keep going. Otherwise, LFO just going to be locked in. This rotation, waiting for Malta, taking a long, long time. Komodo exactly right. Damage dealt, but now ADDICT done. He's picked up 3, and Savage has closed it. What a monstrous round from ADDICT done. LFO fighting back hard, and I think VERTEX were just a little bit low and slow.
Yeah, not bad from LFO there. You can see what the idea was from VERTEX, though. Wait together for everybody to come up together as a team, as a unit. You've got 2 incendiaries to throw in. one to the back of site, one towards close gen as well. But by that point in time, ADDICT, realizing he has to catch Vertex off guard, swings and finds 3. And Savage with a nice one tap in the midair of Malta. That is crispy. LFO calling a timeout for themselves, settle down, but most importantly, I think it's for them. They got around it that it was required, Mitch. They need more, so they have to keep themselves level-headed.
Level-headed certainly is the way to put it. Resilient, certainly as a team of Vertex, but they're not safe from feeling the pressure either. We've seen it many, many a time. And again, as we sort of alluded to towards the start of this competition, after missing out on that spot at ESL Pro League, taken by Rooster, Vertex will be burning if they don't take this one at IEM Sydney 2023. And look at that, Malta straight down, had his head ripped off immediately. And that's that team dynamic from Vertex that you look for.
Last time he was peppered down by a bit of utility. This time
Jesus,
it's Malta to not carry on through the flames. That's quite unfortunate, but he will be the sacrificial lamb for Vertex in this round. 4 versus 4. Well, you can hear the brace is close on that one. No timing for the swing to come on out. 3 members from LFO on the back of this smoke. And that bridge, no vision. It's just brace though, Mitch. He has to fall away, yeah. Lots of utility for LFO to go for a full execute. They can turn up the speed if they find Brace jump spotting over at the A ramp. Is he going to go for it again? Did he spot anything? He's fallen back. No smoke to block them. You'd have to call for some teammates to come help him. 40 seconds to go.
Really need to get a bit of a wriggle on again. Another slow round. But at least with that utility, they've managed to kind of burn off a little bit. But look at this awareness from Vertex. Already 3 here. Have to be ready for Savage, who is waiting now. PZ will start to make some audio. Still yet to get that bomb planted, though. Very cautious, very anxious here. Is 12 seconds left. Okay.
Molly on the bomb. Oh, now they're going to flood him. Oh, yep.
That might be the time. Savage with 2 one-taps, but no time with the bomb.
Okay, not bad.
Oh.
Yeah. I was counting the utility. I was seeing it there from Vertex, and I saw that Brace dropped his incendiary. I didn't catch who the next player was, but that late rotation to come through from PZ dropped a 3rd one on the bomb. Because LFO used their smokes and their molly deep in towards the site, they actually didn't have any safeguarded protection to get the plant down because it was all flamed up. That's nice utility holding and prep from Vertex there.
God damn. So holding back into position. And now as they sit forward, looking to try to make something work out of what they don't really have. Exactly right. Hazza has been charging this one, but look, all of Vertex have really been firing on all cylinders. Sterling does get one back as a response at the very least, and so does Licky. So there is still something left into this as Malta does respond back onto Sterling. So it's a continued game of back and forth here again, Komodo.
Oh, yeah, and that pendulum in its ever-swinging state, one of these teams is going to grab it and lock it down, aren't they? Is it going to be Vertex? They got the better weaponry here. Almost equal on the utility mark as well. Just ADDICT with an extra incendiary. This is a bit of a half buy from LFO to make sure that... Well, it's actually a full buy with what they could, but they will get a little bit of loss bonus going into that next round if they do drop this one. Round number 15 is what Vertex would find. Getting similar vibes to the last round as well, where LFO were just waiting patiently, trying to get rotations, trying to see any overstep from Vertex, and they're not giving them that. PZ on the optimal line at the moment of Leaky. We'll talk about timing. It's safeguarded by Malta, who finds 2 and the bomb. And now they know where Hats is, and that is done. Vertex, map and series point.
Map and series point, Komodo, because at the exact same time, we also did have Rooster overwhelm John Industries. 16-12 and 16-14. 16-12 on Inferno. Mirage very close as well, but there is going to be a cheeky tactical timeout here As effectively, I feel like Vertex are kind of just allowing this one to simmer into LFO. You know, the money is pretty awful across all the board. Not going to have much utility, not going to have much by way of weaponry. So really, this should just be an absolute shoo-in for Vertex to close it. It's theirs for the taking now. And then ultimately, you know, we'll see that fend off against, you know, the winner going up against Rooster tonight. And then the loser facing off against John Industries to see who will hold on to that spot. It's going to be an exciting evening of Counter-Strike as it continues on. But here he goes. That last round. When Vertex, are they going to close it? Or if LFO can keep on kicking and try to drag us into nuke?
Yeah, they need 4 in a row. And they don't have the greatest weaponry whatsoever either. Not a lot of space for mistakes. Been a little bit like that throughout the course of this entire series. Bit of early aggression, a lot of util dumping actually over towards this A ramp. Trying to bait rotations, just trying to draw out positioning. PZ though, over in mid. Right location to try and stop any little late lurk from Mr. Savage. It just goes back to that stalemate yet again. An exchange of utility, no damage delivered. LFO have to have a good game plan to get this round over the line. And it starts off with an ill-positioned Molotov. That's not how you want that one to go.
Really awkward now. They have to try and fend into this. PZ is already going to get that rotation over, but it looks like they're going to set their sights elsewhere. Licky does manage to get the response on the Hazard, so a good start. Maybe a weapon recovery as well, as Licky does pick up another, finally getting something moving. Hat's able to drop Addict as well at the back of the site. So now they are going to be able to bring that bomb over. Brace and Malta will get moving very, very quickly. Brace looking to flank. Malta looking to walk over the hump. Can they get onto that positioning first? Brace doesn't quite spot the line. Hat, great stuff. And Malta, I think he might just have to save, because looking at this money, Komodo, considering the economy for Vertex, it ain't fantastic.
No, it's certainly not. He can definitely cap a few knees on LFO, though, if he takes them out. And makes it a little bit more awkward for them for a buy in the next round. But a little bit wiser to take this gun into the next for yourself, because you can't really cut too many corners of Vertex at the moment either, right? If you lose this round, LFO get one step closer. You have 1 or 2 buys left before you potentially go into the OT realm. And that gives LFO a good chance to get back into this map, to take the lead, to close it out, to send us into nuke. You've got a good advantageous position. You want to play to the higher percentages now as Vertex. And a round such as this is probably just going to present a bit of a half buy to get guns into the next round.
Just focus. Toss this one over the shoulder. Don't really worry about it too much. Sets his sights over towards that 16th round. Once the money is there, you can play around with Malta. Maybe, you know, boost the confidence a little bit. And hope for LFO to make a mistake. But otherwise, it's really just about, you know, chatting. What can we do? How can we reapproach this?
Yeah, it's just the USPs for Vertex and Malta with this A1S. Currently located in a bit of a rotation, actually, to this B site. See what damage he can do. But it's just going to be drawn into Sterling with that AWP. Actually got to fall away. Regroup with his team. They're going for a re-hit.
So you got to be careful. These awkward lines. You know, Licky has the HP. Taken away from him already. Another weapon recovered. That's taken by Hazard, edging closer to 30 frags, Komodo.
Yeah, it's not a bad time, actually, for this boost as well, because they haven't done it yet. Oh,
that's a full health player.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. To a USP, where now Hazard's also stolen an AK.
Oh, did they spot him out?
Oh, the timing.
Hazard. Another. This is not the round you want to be losing if you're LFO here, Komodo.
No, and it's not even Malta doing the damage with the A1S that has actually been taken from the previous rounds. It's the USPs.
That's exactly right. Should be able to get the bomb planted at the very least here, and it is Sterling sitting over the top. Okay, great damage onto Malta. Holds true. Able to find Brace as well, so it's all on the Hazard, who did actually give that weapon away, so he will be able to recover another AK. Licky has the line with the AWP. Moved into lane. And they know exactly where Hazard is.
Yeah, no kit, no smoke.
Bite something, and yeah, I think, look, yeah, exactly right. Saving the AK into the next round is the wise choice. Yeah, that got a little bit hairy, didn't it?
Yeah, again, they've done a world of damage. 2 players surviving for LFO. You have to reinvest in towards all your weaponry. For Hats, you're going to be okay. You get that victory money. You already got 3,500. For APOC, Dud, and Savage, I mean, you know, you're thinking about not necessarily the round next, but the one after that. If you're losing players again, and VERTEX have got these buys coming through, it can be that GG. So we'll see what round number 29's buy does look for LFO. APOC, Dud needs a drop. Savage is going to be okay. So it's all going to be good for them, but I mean, you know, you're wondering about what if it was a couple of extra $100 that they didn't have on top of that. These rounds are getting dicey. This is probably the most important one, though, in the grand scheme of things for this series, right? This one probably defines OT or GG. Because for LFO, if they lose this one, it's done. If they get this, it's probably OT, no money for VERTEX.
Exactly right. Certainly not a position that VERTEX want to find themselves in as well after, you know, a very resilient kind of half. LFO took the lead, and VERTEX were able to equalize, stabilize, push themselves forward. But, you know, LFO, again, never count them out in any way, shape, or form. Nuke around the corner could be a spicy one.
A lot of utility has also disappeared from VERTEX. They need to be quite careful. If they're not deploying any more of this, they need to make sure that they are very ready for these duels. PZ with that AWP could be such a sinister weapon. However, with the fight happening towards this B site, potentially, you have to see Hazard doing something here. You have to see ADDICT doing it as well.
That's Hazard holding true exactly what he needs. They're going to line up as well. Oh, Hazard, what a time to do it. Absolute perfection here as he does get taken, so it isn't going to be any more than 3. APOC, Dud, and Savage. We've seen some rounds like this, but we have seen some big responses. Savage, no, it's not quite going to work out. It is going to be 16-13 in favor of VERTEX, who close it out and will be the first ones to make it into the upper bracket semi-final. Effectively, I guess we will consider it, and they will be facing off against Rooster later tonight as well. So that's a solid start.